Hello, all you hardcores out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from PORKYS Corner. You know the rest. Just waiting for ELLIS to log in, but before he does, why don't you jump onto pinned link in comment section? It'll take you straight through to Human Nutrients website. Have a quick little look. You might want to treat yourself. So, loads to get through today, ELLIS. He's a pretty sharp kid with his boxing. So, back by popular demand. So, let's see how it goes. All right. So the big news is obviously Adrian Mole's BBC iPlayer deal. So that should be interesting watching that move forward. How you doing, Ellis lad? All right.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Can you hear me all right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Fantastic, mate. How you been?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm sound. Straight in then. Obviously, Ben Shallum's got his BBC iPlayer deal. Bit of a come down from Sky Sports. What do you make of it all in this stable? Do you think they'll stay with him?
Uh, I don't think he'll keep hold of the bigger names. Obviously, like your Buatsi, I think he's already mentioned that he's gone, hasn't he, and stuff like that. But I think it's a good platform for the more up and comers coming through who need to get a bit of exposure because it's going to be on free to air telly, in it. But I just don't see how he keeps hold of them bigger names. You know, he signed on the big contracts like Fraser Clark
Yeah.
and all the other ones. But it remains to be seen. I don't think it's a terrible move, but it's certainly a step down from the Sky deal, isn't it? So we'll have to wait and see about that one, mate.
Do you think it's a case of in the contracts of the fighters? Because I've seen many contracts over the years. In the contracts of the fighters, if he has to provide a platform for them, as long as he has that platform, are they okay? Or was it in the contract that it had to be Sky? That's the murky waters at the moment, and nobody seems to be pushing that question, do they? Because he's kind of like not doing interviewing, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, he's gone ghost, hasn't he? He's obviously had his work cut out. He's probably been busy scrambling behind the scenes. But yeah, going back to the contracts, I'd imagine all these fighters have their own management behind them, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of clauses where it was a case of, yeah, we'll sign with you, but you have to provide us with the Sky platform. But I think it'll all come to pass when we see who stays with him now and who leaves. And I'd imagine, the like you said, the more not household names, but the bigger names that he signed will probably be looking to sort of jump ship, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, it's. I mean, good luck to him. He's managed to claw something back, hasn't it? And it's probably quite a decent deal with the BBC. It's not really been done before, has it? So I'm looking forward to see what comes of it. But I'm not holding my breath and expecting box office scraps. Put it that way.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Dennis Hobson, who I used to work for, he was the last promoter to promote on BBC
Really.
2000, Clinton Woods. I'll even tell you at fight actually. But I have been with Dennis to Salford Quays, is it? That's where the BBC is. I've been there with him and actually been in meetings with BBC where they were looking to do stuff, but it were all performance related. There weren't no offers for we're going to give you so much a show. It were you've got to hit so many views and we'll pay you this amount kind of thing. So I don't know. I'd have thought it is a massive step down from Sky Sports. I mean, the incentive they were saying to me and Dennis, well, if this does well, we can get you onto BBC One kind of thing, but we're all performance related. So I don't know what's changed in the last 8 years. I'm not sure, but we will see, won't we? But there's obviously Lauren Price, Carrie Artenstad, or whatever she's called, that Artenstad, that's her wife, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Big Freeze. There's Ben Whitaker and a few others, but I don't know. I don't know if he's too inexperienced to hold it all together because looking at it from the outside, watching it, it looks to me like whatever movie we're trying to make with Sky, the other two, Bricktop and Eddie Hills, they were like doing the best to block him or park fighters up and offer them better deals just to tie him in knots. And I think he was a bit
Yeah.
naive when he first started. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It seems like they just had too much know-how for him, and they
Yeah.
maneuvered him out of the game, and it just proves that it is a slimy game, isn't it? And time served does count for something. And when you're as long in the tooth as Frank, and obviously Eddie steeped in it with his dad's business with Matchroom and stuff, they've got a lot of experience over Ben Shalom, haven't they? But listen, good luck to him. With this BBC deal, I don't know if you know a bit more about it. Is it going to be BBC as in BBC One, Two, or is it
No,
going to be
no,
one
no.
of
It
these?
looks like it's going to be BBC iPlayer because I've just had some
Right.
of somebody here this morning. Uh, yeah, it's Ben Shallon, very proud to be making history with the BBC and a huge day for the sport of boxing. Today, Boxer announced an exclusive free-to-air partnership with the BBC that puts boxing back on free-to-air terrestrial primetime Saturday night TV for the first time in 25 years. So maybe he might have got the BBC. We don't know, do we? If he has, he is a very, very, very well-connected young man because your big dogs, Mick Hennessy, and obviously Big Ron and other people, guys who have been stalwarts in the sport, the old schoolers, they haven't been able to get a BBC deal. Mick Hennessy had one with the class of 2002 with Frotch and all that lot.
Yeah.
But Dennis wasn't able to get back on after '04. Neither were Maloney and neither were Mick Hennessy. So I'm starting to wonder if Ben Shalom is connected, aka Adrian Mowell. He's
Yeah.
obviously done well to get that Sky deal off the back of 4 shows, 4 small shows. He ended up with a Sky deal, exclusive off back of that. Look how many years Matchroom were with Sky before they got that exclusive. Eddie got it. So obviously he's well connected. I don't know how. I mean, he's from your way, isn't he?
He's from Altrincham or like over Manchester way, isn't he? But I think like you say, it really is. It's mysterious, isn't it? It's almost as if he's part of a secret society or something, or
Yeah,
he's
yeah. I
got
was just about to
connections.
say that, mate. I was just about to say Illuminati.
Yeah, yeah, or Freemasonry or something like that, and
Yeah.
he's got handshakes in places, hasn't he? But yeah, because it really is sort of mental how he's landed these two back-to-back pretty huge deals, hasn't he? Really, BBC's not a small deal, is it?
No.
But yeah, well, I mean, good luck to him, and all I'll say is we'll wait and see what comes of it. But if it's on an obscure sort of BBC Three channel, I don't think it's going to get that many eyes, is it? But if you used to roll Ben Whitaker out on a BBC One, I think that'd be huge for anyone's profile, wouldn't it? So it's remains to be seen, doesn't it, mate? We'll have to wait and see what happens with it.
Yeah. Do you think that behind the scenes, the establishment, or should I say the status quo, Brick Top Hills, even Border Control didn't really do him any favours because they put
Yeah,
Adam Azim off that fight with Chavez at Barnes, didn't they? But they didn't do it with Eubank and Ben, did they, with Sauna rumours? Do you feel that the two big dogs, the Border Control, and in general, the YouTubers with access have all kind of like not ganged up on him, but not done him any favor, not done him a square turn, a score, whatever they call it.
yeah. Oh, you almost get the vibe that the YouTubers have preyed on his downfall.
Yeah,
It's like they don't give him any breathing space. Whenever there's a cock up or he's in some sort of bad light, the camera's straight in his face and they're sticking it on him, aren't they? And it makes you think that maybe they're being told by if they're aligned with Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren, which some of these YouTubers clearly are. They're aligned with certain promoters, aren't they? Um, yeah, he has had a rough time, man, and it's been like witnessing bullying a little bit, and it's like
yeah, yeah,
Eddie and Frank have bullied him out of they don't want him at the top table, do they? But he's still knocking around, isn't he? So, like you say, credit to him. He's obviously well affiliated, isn't he? So he doesn't look like he's going anywhere. And I thought we would actually see the back of him. I didn't think we'd see him again after the Sky thing fell through, but he's still knocking around, isn't he? So
yeah.
yeah.
the people at Sky, though, in my opinion, whoever was responsible, and nobody's coming out saying I got him that deal, but I've been told that Superbeam were a big mover and shaker behind the scenes with that. And at one point, he was running around saying, he's like my little brother, and I love Ben, and he's such a boxing person. No,
Yeah,
he's my friend. He gave me a T-shirt. We had lunch. He started talking like Johnny Fisher, aka Elmer Fudd. But somebody's obviously gave him that deal, and he made a big balls of it, right? Nobody gave him any respect. They were all trying to bully him. Billy Joe was trying to bully him. Eddie definitely tried to bully him. Bricktop's done no but fire legal letters at him, and Border Control have done him no favours. So I think he can count himself a bit unlucky, but I think the reason why all that's happened is he's not put his time in to the sport to be getting an
yeah,
exclusive big dog deal like that on Sky after 4 small hall shows. And I think one of them, like some sort of tournament, like that one, Eddie, like a prize fighter type or something, when he first started, when it's something like that he were doing. I forget now,
yeah,
long ago, and it's that much of a crap story because he's like a boring little weasel, isn't he? But he's weaseled his setting at Sky after 4 deals. Nobody's saying why they give him the deal. There's no accountability. It's a bit like when Bean kept bigging up all these big rematches. It makes you wonder if Sky got rid of Bean because all he used to do were big up rematches when they weren't needed. And what being too close to match? He was doing the dark commentary, wasn't it? At one point,
yeah,
winning that double dipping. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So I don't know, but he's gone from Sky. He's still got a stable. There's only Buatsi left, but he's about as exciting as a wet fart anyway. I think Callum Smith had smashed him up to pieces. And I actually think that Yard might do him as well now. Buatsi.
yeah. I think, but Buatsi Yard would be more of a you know, a 50-50, if you will. But I think it's weird. Yeah, Callum Smith's actually above them two, and he's just technically better, isn't he? And he proved that when he beat Buatsi. But yeah, it's like when Shalom came on the scene, he wasn't putting pen to paper with the superstars, where he was getting the sort of nobody wants them club. Fraser Clark, bronze medalist, not really up to much, not a big punching heavyweight, which is what you need when you come in on the scene as a fresh heavyweight. But Watsy was a bit like you say, he's not super engaging, is he? Fights a couple of times a year, if that, maybe once a year, and he's not box office. And then the one that you would say was a good steal was the Ben Whitaker, but I just really wonder how long he's going to be with him for. Surely he's probably looking to jump ship now, isn't he? Because he's a marketable young fighter, and I think he'll end up on DAZN sooner or later. Will Ben Whitaker? But yeah, it is a mystery. It's the Ben Shalom mystery, isn't it? But he's still, like you say, he's still knocking around, isn't he? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Joshua Buatsi's had 20 fights, and Olympics were 9 years ago. And he's had
hmm.
20 fights, 19 and 1.
No world title fight.
No, he's not fought for a world title yet. And I'm starting to wonder if he's missed the boat now because he's approaching 33-year-old. He's not getting any younger, is he? And he was
No,
told off Tony Bellew that this guy's uh, the second coming of Michael Spinks and Andre Ward. Tony Bellew's words, aka B-side Bellew. I don't
yeah.
know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, even if he was 5 years earlier, I don't think he'd be a challenge to like your Bivol or a better Biev. But that's not to say there's not big money fights for him. The yard fight is just a fight that makes so much sense, and that's sort of like getting away from us now, isn't it? Because they're both kind of mid-30s now and not really. They've shown signs of aging, haven't they? Um, and it's a bit of a I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. How Callum Smith's come up from super middleweight and he's automatically already better than the both of them, in my opinion. And it just shows how sort of limited they are. But listen, Buatsi's a tough fighter. That fight he had against Callum Smith, he really showed a lot of heart, and he can dig, honest enough. So I'd probably have him a favourite over Yard because he's not looked brilliant recently. But yeah, in terms of his career sort of falling by the wayside. I see where you're coming from, because you'd have thought with the Olympic pedigree and all that stuff and the way he was sort of touted for greatness, you'd have thought there'd have been at least a challenge for a world title in his resume by now, but there isn't, is there? So yeah,
Yeah.
and you got that Benavidez knocking around as well at light heavyweight, and he's I think he's better than Buatsi and Yard as well. So don't know where this world title's coming from for him, but remains to be seen, doesn't it?
David Benavidez, 30-0, 24 on Button Moon.
Mm.
He's got Anthony Yard on the 22nd of November. That's obviously 14 week away, so plenty of time for Yard to get in shape for that. But do you feel that Anthony Yard's got a chance in that fight, Ellis?
Well, of course you've got a chance, haven't you? But I make Benavidez the heavy favourite. I just don't. Like I touched on it last time. I think that a lot of people point it towards his trainer Tunde. Listen, I don't know. They might have a really good relationship and an unbreakable bond. So who am I to say that he should change trainer? But I just feel like he's trying to mimic an American Mayweather esque style that doesn't suit his muscular light heavyweight frame. He's a big muscular guy, and that there's a reason why Floyd Mayweather was so good, and he had cat like reflexes because it suited his body frame, and to me it doesn't suit that Anthony Ord's frame. And with someone who overwhelms you like Benavidez, his hand speed's ridiculous, isn't it? And he's a big fella, and he packs a bit of zip in his punches. I just think he's on going to be on the end of a hiding really in that fight. That's the only way I see it. But listen, if there's one thing Anthony Ord does have is he has an equaliser. He does have a big punch, and he's quite elusive. So yes, he's got a chance. But I make Benavidez the big favourite, mate.
Yeah,
Mm. What
yeah.
do you think? Do you think he's got a chance against Benavidez?
No, I don't. I think he gets lit up. I don't think
Yeah,
there's been any middle ground for Anthony Yard. I think to progress with his career, I think it's all been about money. They were giving him Adidas deals before he'd even won a belt. Do you remember
yeah,
that? And then we
yeah,
had that his trainer, who, in my opinion, is an absolute weapon. He is an absolute zoomer, and
yeah.
he's running around shouting "Dream it, believe it, become it," and lions in the camp and all this, meaning lion bars in the larder. So I've no time for him. All he's been is a mouthpiece and a PR guy. I don't think you can teach him anything at the moment as regards training wise, Yard, because he's at that age where it's a bit late in the day now, isn't it? Yard is what he is. He's got into this position, and financially he's done well, but I don't think he's learnt his trade in the grey areas. He's either fighting guys, plumbers, or Latvian plumbers, or he's going in with guys like Lyndon Arthur and Benavidez, not Benavidez, Kovalev and Benavidez, sorry. Them
Yeah.
guys, there's no middle ground. I suppose you could say Lyndon Arthur's middle ground, but I think when he beat Yard that first time, I thought he was red hot, him Arthur. Did you?
Yeah, and I watched that fight and I thought he won it clearly. Did Arthur? It was there was a massive outrage, weren't it, from your
Yeah.
side? But I thought no, you didn't do much, and you got soundly out jabbed for a lot of them rounds, and I thought it was a clear win. So yeah, it's like you say, I can't knock him for daring to be great because he jumped in with better behave and all that, didn't he? But um, was it that smart of a move? I feel like you say he could have been navigated a lot better by having them sort of Euro level, tough, different styles, a southpaw, or, a big puncher, whatever. Maybe an obscure kind of Russian kind of name. Get them ones that where you learn your trade. But he sort of just hopped up 5, 6 levels, didn't he, each time, and um, took some decent damage in both of them fights, especially the better behaved one, didn't he? But yeah, listen, as a career on a whole, when he hangs the gloves up, he's been very successful, hasn't he? Adidas deals, like you say, and world title challenges. I'm sure he's a very wealthy man. So in that regard, he's more successful than me and you probably, isn't he? But um, it depends what you want out of the game. If his goal was to be a world champion and have that legacy, it's sort of fallen by the wayside, hasn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has. What about Willie Hutchinson? He's inactive now, isn't he? Quite a while. How would you think he'd go on with Yard? If Yard gets beat against Benavidez, I'm playing devil's advocate here and looking at what had happened with Yard if he got flogged, because I think there's that many possibilities now to bring him back, and everybody's wanting to come to the table now and fight, aren't they? We noticed.
Yeah, yeah. That Willie Hutchinson would be the perfect kind of one of them middle grounds, wouldn't it? Before you go in with your Benavidez, you have a fight with a Willie Hutchinson, not the other way around. But Hutchinson, he was super middle, weren't he? And then I've always thought he's got a decent style. He can switch and he can do a bit, can't he? But I just feel like he doesn't look the strongest at light heavyweight, Willie Hutchinson, and I feel like he can be overwhelmed and potentially stopped by someone like Yard. So. Um, but listen, he's decent and he's exciting, that Willie Hutchinson. Willie Hutchinson, but like you say, he's been off the scene for a while, hasn't he? After he was on a good little run of, I'm sure he was on a Riad show, wasn't he, against Buatsi or something, and he had a bit of momentum, but he's just sort of stopped in his tracks, and I don't know where he is, mate. But I don't know if he's announced the fight to come back or whatever. But yeah, he's there or thereabouts. He's in the mix, isn't he, Willie?
Yeah, they've got Dalton Smith on that show as well. You know, the Yard show, and
Isn't that against a good kid as well? Is that his world title shot for Dalton, or is it an
2
eliminator?
seconds, I'll soon tell you. Yeah, WBC super lightweight title. It's £140
Oh,
belt.
is it Matthias? Is it?
Yeah, Subrio Matias 23-2 against Dalton Smith. Yeah.
Mate, that's a hard fight for Dalton. That is a very hard fight for him, mate. So it'll prove how good he is, mate. So we'll see about that one.
If he wins that, he'll be a superstar, won't he? If he wins that, if he don't, he'll just be an also ran, won't he?
Well, that I've watched that Matthias, and he's just relentless. He's a killer, isn't he? I think he's actually killed someone in the ring. You know, um, he's a relentless fighter. So we will actually see if he's what he's supposed to be, this Dalton Smith. And if he wins, listen, I'll put my hands up and say fair play, because that would be a genuine British world champion if he wins that one.
Yeah, and he's obvious. And then we've got Beater Beeve in there against Dion Nicholson,
Mm.
who grew up with Wilder, and he's 22-1, and 18 of them on Button Moon. So that looks like a good fight for Better Beef to get back in mixed, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, decent scrap. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do well to put a dent in him, wouldn't you? But
Oh yeah,
listen, if you want to make a point to prove, then that's who you want to take off the perch in it. Better be, yeah. But
yeah.
yeah, he's a hard night's work, isn't he?
Devin Haney in the WBO World Welterweight title fight against Brian Norman Jr. So it looks like Devin Haney's moved up to welterweight at 32-0.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's another one, isn't it? Welterweight's always been historically very exciting and very well contested, hasn't it? But it seems to be going through a bit of a lull of action, isn't it? There's no real, if you said who's the number one welterweight in the world at the minute, you can't really name it. Whereas like 5, 10 years ago, you always couldn't you? You could name three or four, but yeah, there might be an opportunity for Devin Haney to make his mark, but I just don't know if he has the pop enough. And I've not seen enough of that Brian Norman Jr., but he's meant to be decent, him. So we'll see how he fares at the new weight. But he was always a bit of a weight bully, Devin Haney, and he's always been big for them weights. So he probably is a welterweight in here, and we'll see what happens in that fight.
I wonder what the Devin Haney situation is at the moment, because it says promoters on the night for the Riad season: Bob Arum, top rank; Devin Haney, Samson, Lou Kuich, Samson Boxing, and then Leon Margulas, Warriors Boxing, and Frank Warren, Queensbury Promotion. So I'm wondering if Haney's not working with Eddie Hills at the moment.
Yeah, he's always been a bit of he does his own thing, Devin Haney, doesn't he, with his dad in the background. You like dads in boxing, don't you? He's another one with the dad,
God.
always on the scene. But yeah, he's done plenty of work with Eddie. He sort of crossed the street a few times, hasn't he? So yeah, I don't know what his situation is or whether he's on a fight by fight kind of thing. But yeah, Dad's lurking around again in background, and his dad's another one who's just he's as not is it as annoying as Sunday. He's one of them ones.
Most annoying
Mouthpiece.
dad in boxing, Danny Garcia's dad.
Oh yeah, oh he's irritating as well, isn't he?
Sam Noakes is in a WBO World Lightweight title fight against Abdullah Mason,
Oh
19,
yeah,
19 and 0, going against a 17 and 0. 17 and 0. So and we've got Norman against Haney, they're undefeated. Jesse Rodriguez undefeated against Fernando Daniel Martinez for WBC, WBO flyweight. So we can't really say it's a bad show unless they have pullouts, but it's a shit hot show, really, isn't it?
that's mate. When you've just read them fights out, that's a brilliant show. If you were ringside or even in the arena for that, you're getting your money's worth, aren't you? Because they're proper contests. But um, yeah, is it in America that one or is it
It's in
Saudi?
Riyadh.
Oh, it's
Riyadh.
in Riyadh, is it? Yeah, yeah. It just makes me think: are they trying to redeem themselves from that um, New York one they had that were an absolute stink fest? I think these that by the names you just read out, they seem like proper fights, mate. So yeah, I'll be interested in that one.
Well, fans are getting the money's worth, aren't they?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So, getting back to light heavyweight division, what do you think's going to happen with Liam Cameron? He doesn't seem to be wanting to fight at that weight. Do you think he's going to go down to 168? That's what people are saying on the in the know.
Yeah, that was the murmurs, weren't it? That was the rumours. I know I've seen him. He's got a YouTube channel now, hasn't he? But I can't. To be honest with you, I can't watch it. I can't listen to Liam Cameron. He just sounds too thick for me. I don't like. That's not me trying to throw any shade. I like him as a fighter, and I like how he's got that down to earthness. But he just sounds too daft. I can't listen to him on an interview. Do you know what I mean?
He's trying to be Dave Allen,
Yeah, but even just
giving it the old man of the people when really a pair of them are cunning like foxes.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think he's naturally more of a super middleweight, isn't he, than a lightweight. He was carrying a bit of softness around his body. Um, but I don't know what his management, what route they're going to try and take. Are they going to try and get honours? Are they going to try and get belts? Or are they going to go down the misfits kind of route? Maybe, I don't know. It remains to be seen, but I'd like to see him give another go at it because I think he's capable and he could probably win a British or maybe even beyond that. But yeah, he's looks like he's coming down to super middleweight, and we'll see what he can do there. I reckon he'd give someone like that. Who's the Barnsley super middleweight who's got the hype behind
Sam
him?
Simpson.
I reckon he'd give him a decent fight, because he ain't the finished article, is he? So I reckon he'd give him a good scrap, and that'd be a decent money Yorkshire clash, wouldn't it? You'd think, but. We'll see how it goes, mate. But yeah, I think he's going to campaign at super middle by the looks of it. But he needs to get a move on because it's been that Whitaker fight ages ago, wasn't it? It's got to be like 8 months to a year ago.
Oh, it was 4 months ago, the Whitaker fight, but
Oh, was it? Was it?
the first fight were 10 months ago.
Right, right. Yeah, I guess it's just because it was a flash in the pan one round. We're at a one rounder or something. It was
Yeah, no, it's
easily,
all rounder, wasn't it? It done him in a
yeah,
second, didn't it?
yeah, easily forgettable one, weren't it? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. You want to go on to part two, Ellis?
yeah,
All
can
right.
do, mate.
I'll see you on
All
part
right, bud.
two. Cheers. Well, that were Ellis from Blackburn. Women love him, men want to be with him. Men want to train with him, sorry, or be him. I think I had too many beers last night. Right. Let's get on to part two. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. And check the pinned link in the comment section. Take you straight to my sponsor's website. Go on, Booyaka.